Ladies and gentlemen, this is Intervlog, and I am here once more. I am here because that is one important information I have for you today, and the information is unbelievable. I say it is unbelievable. This is the first time in the history something like this is happening. Everybody is just watching in confusion, seeing how could a poor dancer trying to reshape US election, a lady who used to work in the nightclub, a lady who used to act X-movie, how come she is trying to stop Donald Trump from his presidential ambition? Is it politically motivated, or is it true? Did it actually happen? I know you'll be wondering, what am I talking about? I am talking about Stormy Daniels, who had come out to say that Donald Trump slept with her in 2016.
Hey, Mr. Trump, all you have to do to prove I'm lying right now, drop your pants. Prove that I'm lying.
But Mr. Donald had debunked the allegation, said it is untrue that he never slept with the woman. But based on the evidence the woman provided, Donald Trump was announced guilty, may even go to prison or pay a very big fine. But the problem is not about a fine or going to prison. The problem we are having is to know whether this is politically motivated, whether it is true, or whether it is lie. We are going to narrate this story, and you will use your brain to judge, to know whether it happened or whether it never happened. Donald Trump is heading towards an election rematch with Joe Biden in November, and this time he will do so as a convicted felon. The 77-year-old is the first former president in U.S. history to be tried and convicted. He was found guilty of falsifying business records in relation to a hush money payment to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. He faces 3 more cases that have not been tried yet. Trump has also been embroiled in civil cases relating to, among other things, the business empire that made his name. There are crucial legal appeals playing out too, including one on whether he is immune from prosecution. It's a complicated legal picture. Here, we'll focus on the 4 cases and explain what could happen next, and crucially, what's at stake as he seeks to return to the White House. What's it about? A payment made to the adult film actress Stormy Daniels shortly before the 2016 election. Ms. Daniels was paid $130,000 to keep quiet about her claim that Donald Trump slept with her, which he denies. Providing so-called hush money is not illegal. Instead, this case was more technical and centered on how Trump's former lawyer, who paid Ms. Daniels, had his reimbursement recorded in Trump's accounts. The former president was found guilty of falsifying his business records by saying the payment was for legal fees. Jurors listened to weeks of testimony and found him guilty under all 34 counts of fraud under campaign finance laws. Trump has said the case is politically motivated. This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial, he told reporters after the verdict. When was the trial? The first trial of a U.S. president began in mid-April and ended on 30 May. The prosecution's key witness was ex-lawyer Michael Cohen, who testified that his former boss knew about the elaborate scheme to disguise the payment. In days of heated cross-examination, Trump's lawyers sought to undermine Cohen and paint him as an unreliable witness and convicted liar. The jurors deliberated over 2 days before returning a guilty verdict. Could Trump go to prison? Each of the charges carries a maximum of 4 years in prison, although a judge could sentence Trump to probation if he is convicted. Legal experts told the BBC they think it is unlikely Trump will be jailed and that a fine is the more likely outcome. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, a Democrat, used a rare strategy to bring felony charges rather than less serious misdemeanors. What's it about? Whether Trump illegally conspired to overturn his 2020 election defeat to Joe Biden. Federal prosecutors allege he pressured officials to reverse the results, knowingly spread lies about election fraud, and sought to exploit the Capitol riot on 6 January 2021 to delay the certification of Mr. Biden's victory and stay in power. He's been charged with 4 criminal counts, including conspiracy to defraud the U.S. and conspiracy against the rights of citizens. Some had speculated he would be charged with insurrection or aiding insurrection, but that is not one of the charges. He has denied wrongdoing and claimed the Biden administration is behind the prosecution. When's the trial? It has been postponed indefinitely while an appeal from Trump plays out. The Supreme Court will rule on Trump's argument that a former president cannot be prosecuted like any other citizen. Justices heard the case on 25 April and will decide by June. The challenge increases the chances that this trial may not happen before November's election. And if Trump were to win the vote, he could, in theory, pardon himself or order the charges to be dismissed. Could Trump go to prison? Penalties for the charges include conspiracy to defraud the U.S. is punishable by a fine or up to 5 years in prison. Obstructing an official proceeding is punishable by a fine or up to 20 years in prison. Conspiracy against rights is punishable by a fine or not more than 10 years in prison, or both. But there are logistical, security, and political questions around whether Trump would actually serve time in jail, even if convicted. A conviction at trial would take the U.S. into uncharted territory. Who is Stormy Daniels or Stephanie A. Gregory Clifford? Stephanie A. Gregory Clifford, born Stephanie A. Gregory, 17th of March 1979, known professionally as Stormy Daniels, is an American ex-film actress, director, and former strip bar. She has won many industry awards and is a member of the Night Moves Hall of Fame, AVN Hall of Fame, and XRCO Hall of Fame. In 2009, a recruitment effort led her to consider challenging incumbent David Vitter in the 2010 Senate election in her native Louisiana. Daniels became involved in a legal dispute with U.S. President Donald Trump in 2018. Trump's attorney Michael Cohen paid $130,000 in hush money to silence her about an affair she says she had with Trump in 2006. Trump denied the affair and accused her of lying. He was charged with 34 felony counts of falsifying business records to conceal payments made to Daniels and was convicted on May 30, 2024. Daniels said she came from an average lower-income household. There were days without electricity, and she has described herself as coming from a really bad neighborhood. During high school, Daniels had a job answering phones at a riding stable. Daniels' first experience as a stripper occurred when she was 17 and visiting a friend at a strip club. She was convinced to perform a guest set. She began stripping for money at the Gold Club in Baton Rouge and became a featured entertainer with Continental Theatrical Agency in September 2000. She chose her stage name Stormy Daniels to reflect her love of American rock band Mötley Crüe, whose bassist, Nikki Sixx, named his daughter Storm. In 2004, Daniels won the Best New Starlet Award from Adult Video News, which was a surprise to Daniels. Daniels toured strip clubs as part of a 2018 Make America Horny Again tour. She appears in the film Knocked Up, 2007, as a lap dancer. What you think about what is happening in the United States and whether what Stormy Daniels is doing is good or bad, or whether it never happened. Whether this is political motivated just to stop Trump from going on for his presidential dream, or whether this did happen exactly as everybody is saying it, and whether it is also a bad thing, or whether it does not matter so much about the election. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Enter Vlog.